Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Liberty Lady Liz here, and I wasn't planning on posting today because it's Monday, but I did want to say something about fire drills. So, I think you guys know from my past vlogs that I don't like fire drills and they give me anxiety. Well, what if I told you that, depending on the school you go to, you can ask your guidance counselor or a teacher for a warning 5 minutes before a fire drill, because the reason why the teachers know about it is because it's a drill and it's planned when the alarm's gonna go off. So yeah, and you know what I do during a fire drill? If you have anxiety like me and you suffer and you're on anxiety medication like me, we're on the same boat. I can give you advice on how to take care of that. You're in class, you're in math class. Beginning of the day, you're in the middle of taking a math test and you hear the fire alarm go off. You know what I do? I have a 5-minute warning, so I time, I set this timer manually in my brain saying, okay, 5 minutes till a fire drill. Imagine you have a timer in your brain. What you can do is time yourself and say, okay, you just got a 5-minute warning, 5 minutes till the fire alarm goes off. You can set it in your brain that way. That way, once it gets down to 10 seconds, go 10. Oh wait, go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you hear this beep, 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 beep. So this is me in class, right? I'm just gonna show you what I do during fire drills. I have my puppet already. I'm sitting here in class, beep, and then I cover my ears and I go like this out the door. Because I cover my ears, not to be obnoxious to the teacher or any of my other friends or classmates or anything. I'm not trying to be obnoxious, that's not why I plug my ears at all. I plug my ears because it's like really loud and it scares the heck out of me. Like, I'm like, what the heck? Because I'm expecting it to go off like in 5 minutes or 3 minutes or like 10 seconds. But like, sometimes it goes off sooner than I think it'll go off, and then it scares the heck out of me because I wasn't expecting it that early. One time in March 9th, 2 days after my 15th birthday this year, I was in 9th grade and I'm going to be a sophomore at the end of August. I'm going to be in 10th grade. But anyway, so I was in art class first period on a Wednesday, and my guidance counselor was out today, so another guidance counselor said, oh, Liz, we're gonna have a fire drill in 5 minutes. I said, uh-oh. So she says, do you wanna do the whole fire drill, or do you wanna get out before the alarm goes off? I'm like, no, I'll do the whole fire drill. Because like, I think it will make me look like a jerk because I'm in high school that I'm getting out before the fire alarm's even going off because there's no reason to get out because there's no alarm yet. So I just sat there and I heard this beep. I heard this beep, beep, beep. I'm like, uh-oh, that's the fire alarm. And every time there's a fire drill, the teacher's like, okay, I need everybody to stop what you're doing, pushing your chairs, and we need to go out the door. So, the teachers know that it's coming, except for the daycare teachers downstairs who teach like infants, toddlers, and preschoolers. They don't know that's coming, but the other academic teachers, like the middle school teachers and the high school teachers, they all know that's coming. They have to be emailed about it. The only time you wouldn't know if it's coming is if we're a real fire. But it's very slim, but that's why we practice. So what I like to do, and I can give you some tools for if you have anxiety about fire drills, use a puppet, take a stress ball. Do not take your phone. Because during a real fire, I hate to say it, but if there were to ever be a real fire at school, you would have to leave your stuff to burn. The most important thing is that you get you and everybody else out. That's important. You are the most important thing. You can always replace those. The most important thing is that you get you and everybody else out. That's the scary part about buildings, right? They have the probability to get on fire. possibility to get on fire. It doesn't mean that they will. It just means that that's why we practice them. So if there ever is a real fire, you get out in timely and orderly fashion before you start burning, before the flames get to you. So that's why we do fire safety. They're called fire drills, or called evacuation drills, or safety drills. It's just like, why do we practice lockdown drills? They should know what to do in the case of a real intruder. But during a lockdown drill, there's no alarm. There's just an announcement saying that there's an intruder in the building, or that it's a drill. So that's why I was saying you can use a poppet. You can do literally anything, but just make sure it doesn't distract the people, because you need to focus on going down the stairs and getting out. You don't need to focus on your poppet. If you drop your fidget toy on the way out during a fire drill when the fire alarm's going off, because the fire alarm just started going off, what I would do is just leave it there, and then when you come back in after you hear the fire alarm stop beeping, you can just pick it up. But don't worry about that. Just worry about getting yourself out, getting the teachers out, helping your classmates out. Just worry about that stuff. Every time let me tell you this, I film YouTube videos on my phone, right? On my iPhone. Every time there's a fire drill, I always worry about my phone. I asked the teacher I asked the teacher what should I do with my phone. They're like, just leave it in the classroom. They said, your phone is safe, it's just a drill. So I left it, and every time I get panicked in my phone, what if this is a real fire, what if this is a real fire, what if this is a real fire? If you have severe anxiety like I do, to the point where you have to be on medication, and you keep thinking about what if, don't think about that. Just think, it's just a drill, it's just practice, I'm safe, I'm okay. Just keep repeating that, and eventually after repeating that to yourself, you're golden. You don't get a gold medal, you're not in the Olympics, but you're golden, meaning you're good. You're okay. So even if you think it's a real fire, it's okay to ask the teacher, is this real or is this just a drill? They're able to tell you. But if there were no warning and there was a real fire, you'd smell smoke. You can't smell smoke right away once a fire breaks out, but I'm sure you can. There's rare occasions, but it's rare. It's very, it's 2% chance of this happening. 2% chance. 2% chance of a real fire happening. But it's also a 2% chance of when a real fire does break out. It's very rare that there's no smoke, but I've heard some instances, like when I was 9 years old, where there was a fire in an apartment building, but there was no smoke. The smoke is what... People think the fire is what kills you. No, I've learned in science class, no, that's not right. It's the smoke that kills you. The fire just makes you feel hot, because flames are hot, obviously. That's exactly why they tell you not to play with matches, because you can start a fire. Okay. Alright, let me give you some scenarios here. You are in my favorite class. You're in history, which is my favorite subject. Anyway, you're in history, and the fire alarm goes off. You are worried about your Chromebook, you're worried about your phone, you're worried about your backpack, you're worried about your pencils, you're worried about your water bottle. I don't have water. What I would do is, if you feel like there's going to be a fire drill, I would go to the take a 10-minute break, do 5 minutes in the bathroom and 5 minutes filling up your water. And then after that, return to class, and if you're nervous, just ask the teacher, can I speak to you out in the hall? Don't be rude, but be polite about it. Ask the teacher, can I speak to you out in the hall? And just tell him, I'm nervous that there's going to be that the fire alarm's going to go off. I'm nervous that there's going to be a fire drill. And if you can ask the teacher, is there going to be a fire drill? They might not be able to tell you, but at least you know you asked. It doesn't hurt to ask. The worst they can say is no. The worst they can say is no, we cannot tell you. In my middle school, no, we cannot tell you before a fire drill was code for, oh yes, there's going to be a fire drill. Because every time that happened, 5 minutes later, the alarm would go off. And I knew that. After a while, I didn't have to ask, because I knew what that's code for. No, we cannot tell you is code for, yes, we're having a fire drill. But anyways, every year you have to do a fire drill, so just don't stress. It's just me. You can ask, you can take a break, you can go to the bathroom, you can take a walk. You can ask your friend, you can ask a teacher to pick a friend to go on a walk with, if you're nervous or anxious about it. The worst thing to do about a fire drill is cry about it, because crying, ooh, sorry, my hair's messed up. Anyway, crying is not going to help stop the fact that you let me rephrase this, please. Crying is not going to prevent the fact that you have to do them. Yes, crying is healthy, and so is laughing. It's not healthy to hold back your laugh or cry. What is healthy to do is, if you feel like there's going to be a fire drill, if you're anxious, if you're nervous, if you're stressed, if you're scared, if you're like super scared you can't function, don't force yourself to be in class. If you have a feeling that there will be a fire drill, like sometime within the next hour, within the next couple minutes, within the next couple classes, you can go and take a break. Don't force yourself to be in class if you feel like it's gonna happen. Because you know what I do when I feel like it's gonna happen, but I haven't gotten a warning yet because I haven't found out? You know what I do? The teachers know like a week or 2 weeks ahead of the drill date that we're supposed to do the drill. But you know what I do? I ask the teacher, because at my school you're allowed to call the teachers by their first names. So I'm like, oh, so and so, can I go and use the bathroom, or can I fill up my water, or can I take a walk, or can I take a break? And they're like, yeah, you can go take a break, Liz, it's fine. So what I do is, I know when the fire alarm rings or beeps or whatever what you want to say, when I hear the first beep of the fire alarm, I know it's just a drill. Nothing to stress about. I get warned because I get anxious. If I didn't get warned before a fire drill, I would be so upset. But during a real fire, which is very rare, but it could happen, you know, my whole thing with this is I don't mean to beat a dead horse about it and make you guys anxious. No, that's not what I'm here for. I just want you guys to know that even though fire drills happen, fire drills are preparing you for real life scenarios. If there ever were a fire, you've done them for however long you've been in school for, and you know what fire alarm's going off. What do I do? What is the first thing I have to do? What do we do to stay safe? How do I do this? If you know the steps to do it, you're good. If you forget if you're supposed to push in your chair, ask a teacher. Maybe ask the teacher to go over some fire drill safety, fire safety, stuff like that. A fire drill is just preparing you for the worst case scenario. It's just preparing you for a fire. What do I do if there's a fire? What you do in case of a fire is exactly what you do in a fire drill. In high school and middle school, you don't line up single file, but in elementary school and preschool and kindergarten, you do. And if you're a toddler and you go to school, you do. But once you get to middle school, you just scramble out the door. So that's all for today's video. I hope this helped you. Please subscribe, turn on post notifications, new videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And I'll see you guys on the next vlog.